afterwards? Yeah, definitely.
This week marks the return of the Circuit Albaida, and my old nemesis returned just in time. Asthma. Naturally, no sprays available, because who really needs lungs for running anyway? Oh, and just to make things a little more interesting, tonight's conditions are a moderate 32 degrees. Only in Spain would that be considered normal running weather. My pal Javier gave me the route description: 100 meters flat, 4 kilometers uphill, and 3.7 kilometers down, which basically translates as enjoy the first starting line, regret everything for the next 4k, and then fall down a long hill for the final stretch. Oh, and in a bold display of radical optimism, I've broken my beloved Asics Metaspeed Paris Edge race shoes out of retirement. They're supposed to be kept strictly for marathons only, so naturally I'm testing them in a hot, hilly 8-kilometer evening run. What could possibly go wrong? Well, nothing at all, of course. Arriving at Llutxent, it felt like I'd been away from the Circuit Vall d'Albaida for years. In reality, it had been just over a month since Quatretonda with Alexei, Tanya and Louis, but since then I've racked up the virtual La Pobla del Duc, Almoines, Miramar, and of course the small matter of trail Quesa. My legs have filed a formal complaint. I hadn't seen the gang for a while either, but that was going to change tonight. After a quick stop at the local facilities, you have to get your priorities right, I met up with Vero and Ruth. The race start and finish were all along the main street, packed with bars and children's play areas, giving the whole thing a great family vibe. Local running clubs were out in force, plus one of my more immediate neighbours. Naturally, the keen types were already doing pre-race stretches and warm-up runs. Honestly, I don't know where they find the energy. I can barely find the start line. Murchie showed up too, fresh from her Arctic travels, which was great. The refreshment tables looked extremely encouraging, though I had my doubts about whether anything would survive until I staggered back. Spoiler alert, there was in fact plenty left. Watermelon, pizza squares, cakes. Well done, organisers. Just over 300 of us lined up at the start, thanked the village, volunteers and organisers, a nice touch, and then we were off. A nice gentle flat section to start with? Nope, this is Llutxent. Straight up the hill, loop around and then up some more. I used Javier's usual strategy. Start near the back, try to pass a few and hopefully not give them chance to repay the favour later on. Mostly it worked until the 4-kilometre climb out of town really hit. At one point I passed another runner and heard him mutter, "Bastardo." I think he meant the road, not me, probably. The heat was surprising for September, but there were plenty of water stations, much appreciated. on the top section and into the long, slightly downhill run back, I could hear Murchie behind me. Eventually we joined up and ran together, buoyed by the wonderful supporters scattered even in the middle of nowhere. Near the village, the sounds of the finish drifted over. Relief. Except my Garmin reminded me there were still 2 kilometres to go. The narrow streets wound on forever. I dropped back, taking a few photos, and was overtaken by some back markers. Then, somehow, on fumes, I found a burst of energy, repassing the slightly bemused runners, and caught up with Murchie, who may or may not have slowed down for me. We crossed the line together, though officially Murchie got 279th and I got 280th. Not that I'm bitter. Much. With a smaller field, it was easy to regroup and watch the prize giving together. My star followers, Pasquale and Venus, cleaned up, as did Murchie. Well deserved all round. These village Circuit Vall Albaida events are just brilliant. Friendly, supportive, and totally charming. Next week is something a bit different. The larger town of Ontinyent, San Rafael area. Not exactly the most glamorous backdrop, but I'm sure it'll be another lively one. Oh, and it's a double header, the Berlin Marathon on the following Sunday morning. What could possibly go wrong? And a quick plug. I've recorded a couple of Relatable Runner podcast interviews already. They'll need a bit of spit and polish before they're listenable. But if you fancy being a future guest or victim, let me know. Hope you can join me next time.